Since becoming a doctor, I've met people from all walks of life, from birth, adulthood to the dying. The insights gained has helped to put things in perspective in my own life and allowed me to refocus on what really matters. In this video, I will share 7 lessons I've learned since becoming a doctor. Hi, my name is Dr. Erwin Kwun. If you're new to this channel, I help high performers create habits to lead a happy and successful life. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. I still remember the struggle in my F1 year as a doctor like it was yesterday. The transition from medical student to F1 doctor is a huge leap. Suddenly I was handed the responsibility of people's life in my hands. Despite 5 years of medical school, all the induction and the support, I still felt underprepared. My first post was medicine. It was a stressful job with busy on-call duties. There were times when I felt overwhelmed with the intensity of the workload and out of depth. It felt like medicine was not for me and I didn't enjoy it because I wasn't sure what I was doing and I doubted my capacity. What helped me going through F1 was sharing my difficulty with other colleagues who were also F1 doctors, and talking about the difficulties we all experience was quite liberating, and it was reassuring to know that other people were having similar experiences and also felt nervous and overwhelmed about the same thing. The feeling that we were all in the same boat was reassuring, and we helped each other by talking about the difficulties and how we cope with things. Sometimes simply talking about a difficulty can be extremely useful instead of suffering in silence. The experience I had as an F1 was typical, given the fact that I was put in a new environment and had to work with a new team. Due to the nature of the job, there were days when I felt I was being stretched thinly. For example, there was a day when I had to cross-cover another ward plus my own ward because there were no junior doctor covering the duties on the other ward. So there are days when you will feel that you are being stretched, and unfortunately that is a system we work in. This leads to my next point. You need to put your oxygen mask on first. As doctors, we are good at caring for others, but when it comes to caring for ourselves, we are less good. In medicine, it is hammered in us to proceed with an ABC approach whenever we manage a critically ill patient: airway, breathing, and circulation. A quote that got stuck with me is, "Put your oxygen mask on first before helping someone else." This is what you hear whenever you fly on a plane. So often I see doctors trying to help others before helping themselves first. I've often done it myself. Self-care is something I previously neglected because I was too busy saving life. What I failed to realize is that if I don't attend to my own needs first, how could I possibly be of help to anybody around me? For instance, I was the doctor covering all medical wards in the hospital I work in as an F1 doctor, with 2 pages of jobs to do, blood tests to take, x-rays to chase, cannulas to do, drug charts to rewrite, patients to review, and so on. I felt I had to keep plowing on through my never-ending list, and I did not take a break in my 12-hour shift. I felt hungry, lethargic, and was also probably dehydrated with a low blood sugar level. In hindsight, this was not a wise choice. Being aware how vital it is to take good care of myself, I make sure that this does not happen again. Nowadays, I prioritize at least a 15 minutes break during a long shift. This ensures that I keep myself well hydrated and I don't drop my energy level to such a low point that I'm exhausted. In the long run, it's important to prioritize self-care. Otherwise, this has negative impact on our well-being. As a doctor, I'm reminded how fragile life is every day. One of the things that I do as a doctor is to break bad news. Telling somebody that they have an incurable disease, or that they have a miscarriage, or that they cannot drive anymore. or things that's very upsetting, and it's always difficult to predict how the person will react. And some persons are more sensitive than others. Some persons are not bothered, but others might be upset and melt down. I still remember this German I saw diagnose him of a TIA, transient ischemic attack, and I explained to him his diagnosis, what we're going to do to manage him, and the implication on his fitness to drive. He was taken aback and he was shocked by the diagnosis, and it was difficult for him to accept. I spent extra time to listen to him and answer his questions. Before he left the consultation, I made sure that he understood everything that I said and that he understood he was not able to drive for safety reasons. 3 weeks later, I saw the German again and he seemed to be doing better. We had a chat about how he was doing and how he was managing, and he graciously thanked me for being honest with him and taking the time to explain to him about the diagnosis and the implication on his fitness to drive. When we're healthy and young, we feel as if we're invincible, but life is very fragile and we're more vulnerable than what we may think of. Let me share with you a story about a consultant colleague who was about to retire. He was well liked by his peers and he was a very approachable guy who was kind and very supportive of his juniors. One day I learned from a colleague that he was urgently admitted to hospital because of a heart problem. I later found out that he did not survive. It was a tragic loss, and given the fact that he was such a hard-working person and about to retire and enjoy his retirement, it was really heartbreaking to see what happened. This event made me realize how precious life is and how fragile our life is on this earth, because we don't know whether we'll be here tomorrow. A common regret among dying patients is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Having observed firsthand people regretting that they wish they live a different life is heartbreaking. It took them a lifetime to realize that they wish they live a life on purpose. When I was younger, I would worry about what other people would think of me, and I was more about pleasing other people. Then I learned to worry less about what other people thought of me. Now I realize other people don't even care about my life, as they are too busy living their own life. For instance, it took me a lot of courage to start this YouTube channel and talking in front of the camera. I was worried what people would think of me. I'm so glad I did it anyway, and most people don't even care about what I'm doing. Most people won't even watch this video. I know I would have regretted it had I not started this channel. In the end, what matters is a conversation you have with your future self. Did I have the courage to live the life that was meant to live? Being friendly, considerate, and generous is an important quality. Although kindness is perceived as a combination of naiveness and weakness to many people, that is not the case. Being kind often requires courage and strength. As a doctor, being kind to patients and colleagues convey a sense of care and sympathy that goes a long way. People notice when we show kindness because it makes a positive difference in their life. Kindness also includes being kind to yourself. When it comes to ourselves, we're much harder on ourselves. We rarely think about showing ourselves kindness. When we beat ourselves up, we cause unnecessary suffering to ourselves. Self-criticism only sabotages us and worsens a situation. To calm my inner critic and replace it with the same kindness, warmth, and understanding that I treat others who are struggling, I choose the language that makes myself talk carefully. Flip the narrative from "poor me, I'm not good enough" to "suffering is part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment." Self-kindness gives us support when we most need it. Relationship is vital for everyone. The relationships we foster are crucial. for happiness, health, and well-being. Research shows the value of having a strong support network as the most reliable predictor of our well-being. I have observed the effects of loneliness in my patients time and time again. Many had become so caught up in their own lives they had let golden friendships slip by over the years, having deep regrets about not giving friendships the time and effort that they deserve is common as we grow older. Loneliness is also a big problem among young people. Having had to move to new city many times for work, I've struggled sometimes to make new friends and stay in touch with old friends. However, with some organization and planning, I've been able to try and meet at least twice a year with friends who live far apart. The benefits of technology make it so easy to communicate with friends and family nowadays. Reaching out with someone you miss or have not caught up with is a great way to stay in touch. I've learned not to take myself too seriously. Have a love and cultivate a sense of humor. It's important to have a creative outlet besides working all the time or constantly chasing a goal. What I like to do is to take a step back and remind myself there's so much to life than pursuing success. If I cannot be happy with what I already have, then having more things will not make me happier. I believe injecting fun and excitement in life are important to flourish. Celebrate your success and enjoy your way to where you want to be. Let me know in the comment section which one is your favorite lesson. If you have any questions or any suggestions for any future videos, please write it down in the comment section. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos.